Welcome to Truth and Company Boxing Podcast. I'm your host, John the Truth Dioria, and today we have another segment of 20 random questions. And today's guest is female professional boxer, coach, and gym owner, Jamie McGrath. How you doing, Jamie?
Hi, I'm doing well, John. How are you?
I'm great. I appreciate you taking time early in the morning to come on the show.
Oh, yeah.
So I see a belt there behind you. Tell me what that's about.
Yeah, that's the South Carolina State title belt that I won back in March.
Nice. Everybody likes jewelry. So is there anything going on right now? I know, like you said, you just won in March, but I mean, that was a few months ago. Do you got anything coming up right now?
Yeah, I'm just coming off a fight that I had a headbutt and broke my nose. So I'm just taking some time to heal. And I'm back in the gym, though. I'm working out and stuff. I just can't spar yet. So I'll probably be fighting sometime soon, close to the new year.
Nice. Okay. And then now, can your fans, can they find that information on a social media page somewhere?
Yeah, well, I have my private, my personal Facebook page, which is Jamie McGrath on Facebook, or all the things with Jamie on Instagram. Or you could always follow my gym, which always has all of the fight information, which is Southpaw Training Center.
Okay. All right. So you're ready for these random 20 questions?
I'm not sure, but I guess there's no going back now. We're in it.
Oh, I'm sure you fought tougher opponents in the ring than my 20 questions.
We'll see.
All right. Question 1. How did you get involved in the sport of boxing?
I got involved in the sport of boxing because I had graduated high school and I was looking for I always played sports. I love sports. And I was looking for something to do. And I was going to just a normal, local gym. And it just wasn't cutting it for me. And then every day on my way to work, I would pass a boxing gym. But, it was scary to go in there. And I'm talking, this is 1997. That's how old I am. So I finally built up the courage to go in, and the rest is history. I mean, I just fell in love with the sport and never left the gym since.
Yeah, but now you had a pretty decent amateur career for a while. And then what made you decide to turn pro, though?
Well, life happened when I was amateur. I had a great career, 6 national titles. I was a 3-time New York Golden Glove champion. I was in the first ever USA women's team. We had our first ever international duel, we had a duel, and we had 13 different countries. We went to Finland and I won the gold medal there. It was amazing. And then what happened was, life got in the way. I ended up, meeting my husband at the time. We had our first child that wasn't planned. And I had then said, you know what? I want to go pro after I had my daughter. And then it was really hard to get a pro fight. They kept falling through. Life, like I said, life happens. And I decided, I wanted to have more kids and raise a family. So I stopped, fighting.
But no, you say you stopped fighting, but did you stop training and going to the gyms and everything for all those years?
Yes and no. I was never training at the level of fighting training. I've always kept my foot in boxing. I love the sport. I've always kept doing boxing workouts, and I trained other people because I think everybody should be boxing. I think it's a prerequisite in life. It helps so many things other than your physical aesthetic. I always say it's cheaper than therapy. It helps people grow. You meet so many people from all different walks of life. And so, that's why I always trained. And I actually sat at a little gym out of my house that I worked with people out of.
Okay. But now you own an actually big gym, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. In 2020, I decided to leave my husband in the middle of a pandemic, which left me without my home gym. So what does any normal person do? They open a gym in the middle of the, worldwide pandemic. So that's what I did. And it's actually going great. I love my community that I built. And we also offer yoga and Pilates. So we're kind of getting full body, mind, spirit, everything happening there.
Now that's called Southpaw Gym?
It's Southpaw Training Center, and we're located in Pineville, North Carolina. It's in the Charlotte, city of Charlotte limits.
Okay. All right. Question 2. What advice would you give a kid that wants to become a boxer?
My advice is that just get to the gym and stay in the gym. I think especially today with the internet, social media, YouTube, there's so many people out there teaching so many different things. And all the kids want is like, the flash of it and to like do these showboating moves, which I am like always against because I'm so old school. And I'm like, no, just get in there and fight and box. But the thing is, be loyal to your team, show up every day, work hard, because sometimes you don't see the result right in front of you when you're doing something. It could take a year to see the results. That's my thing. Stay committed and dedicated.
Okay. Question 3. If you could go on any reality TV show, which one would you go on?
Oh, this is actually easy. The Amazing Race.
Okay.
Yeah, I always joke around with my niece that we were going to go on the Amazing Race one day. I love the challenges. I love the physical demand of it. And yes, it would be the Amazing Race for sure.
All right. Question 4. Who is someone in your life that has inspired you outside the sport of boxing?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I have so many amazing influences in my life. My family inspires me in different ways. My friends inspire me in different ways. I really don't think I could pick one person in particular. I think that, we're all on this journey, and I have aligned with a lot of great people that help me with my weaknesses, and I help them with their weaknesses. And I think that's the thing, finding your people and people that support you is the inspiration of everything.
Okay. Question 5. If you could have dinner with any 4 people in the world, dead or alive, celebrities, people from history, anybody, who would be at your table?
Wow. Now we're getting deep because I really should have thought about this one. I don't really know. I know I definitely dead or alive. I'd pick my father. He died when I was 3 years old. So I think that would be amazing. But if we're talking famous people,
Well, anybody, family, celebrities, people from history.
Yeah, I think the go-to would be family, right? We all have people that have passed over, and I would love to spend time with them. That's my go-to answer. Of course, I have grandparents. I have friends that have passed away. Obviously, I said my dad first and foremost. Famous people, though, I would probably say people like Kobe Bryant. I would say Abigail Adams. I think she's a rock star and she doesn't get enough credit. So that would be cool.
All right. Question 6. Who's the one boxer, alive or dead, that you'd want to sit down and have a conversation with?
Well, the joke is Oscar De La Hoya, because I've always loved him from when I started in boxing. And I always joked around that, he's my boyfriend. He just doesn't know it yet. But so, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure if he ever sees this, he'll love to hear that.
Oh, gosh. Well, obviously it's not going to work out, Oscar, but we're good. It's just one of those things. I was 19 when I started out in the sport and always admired him as a boxer. And obviously he is a very good looking person. So I like that too.
Okay. Question 7. Who is your female favorite boxer right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
I would have to go with it's a toss up. I have to go back on. It's Katie Taylor. I would say. I admire her journey in this sport. She's been doing this a long time, and she's phenomenal. So, Katie Taylor.
Okay. Question 8. Do you have any phobias?
Yeah, I guess I do. I don't like being in confined spaces, so that would be my phobia. I guess elevators and things like that.
What? All right. Question 9. What has been the biggest accomplishment in your life?
Oh, the biggest accomplishment, obviously, my 3 children. I would say they're going to be my biggest accomplishments. Other than, that, the obvious would be just doing like getting into boxing, over 25 years ago, where, women really weren't in that sport. Like I look back and not knowing then what I was doing. Now I look back and go, wow, that was pretty cool. So yeah, I would say that's my biggest accomplishment, really doing something that was against the grain.
Okay. Question 10. Can you tell me an interesting story out of your boxing career?
Well, there's lots of interesting stories. What type of interesting are you looking for?
Just any story that comes to mind that the fans might not know about.
Yeah, I know. I always go back to this mindset story, which I tell a lot of the people I train, because I think it's, and I fall into it too. You need to have the right frame of mind getting in there when you're boxing, and you could throw yourself off and you could lose a fight before you even step into the ring. And when I was in Finland, I had to fight. I had 3 fights when I was over there in 5 days. So I had to fight. The first girl I fought was from Russia, and I stopped her in the first round. The second girl I fought was from Finland, and I stopped her in the first round. And then the third girl I was going to fight was from Canada, and she was actually the best boxer that was there, other than me, of course. She had fought some pretty stiff competition, and I knew this was going to be the hardest fight for me. Her mindset was off because I stopped the other 2 girls. And the morning of the weigh-in, she told one of the officials that, well, at least a silver medal is good. So before she even went in there, she lost that fight. So she could have been my hardest opponent, but I ended up stopping her in the first round. And that was strictly mindset because her skill level was high. And, she could have given me a good fight. So that's an interesting story. Yeah.
That is. Because you're honestly saying that you already knew her skill set was probably better than yours. Do you believe so? If she was 100% focused, that you would have lost?
Well, I wouldn't say better than me. She was at a level that would have competed with me. We'll put it that way. She was at a higher level. So I knew I had sparred with the girl that she had fought a bunch, who was she was world champion. She was great. So I knew she had the skill to stay in there with me, and it would have been a good fight. I think I would have won regardless, but it was just her mindset threw her off, and it happens to all of us,
Okay. All right. Question 11. If you could box in a celebrity boxing match versus any actor, actress, or athlete, who would you want your opponent to be?
Oh, I don't know. That's an interesting question because I don't know if I have an answer for that one. Basically, would this be like somebody I'd want to beat up?
No, I mean, it might be somebody that you admire on TV in a show or something, somebody that would just be fun to go in there and do an exhibition or a celebrity boxing match with.
Yeah. And non-boxer, a celebrity. I don't know. Maybe like Reese Witherspoon. If we're just, I think she's cool, and I think that'd be funny.
Okay. All right. Question 12. How has boxing affected your life in a positive manner and in a negative manner?
Well, I mean, in a positive way, I could go on for days with how, like I was saying earlier, the people we meet, I think is number one. You meet so many different people from different demographics of life. And I think that just overall is a huge positive impact on my life. The confidence, the being able to know that, I'm in shape. If anything ever happened, I could do the best I could do out there in the world. So many positives. On a negative, the only negative I would say, and that's for the time I'm in my life right this second, is that, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I run a business. And I'm a single mom. So I have a lot of things happening. So that would be the only negative for me right now, is that it's a lot of time out of my day.
Okay. Question 13. If you could live as a person of a different race for 30 days, what race would you choose?
You're really getting these questions today, John. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's important to appreciate all different cultures and try to understand where everybody's coming from. I don't necessarily know, like, if I had to pick, I'm not, I honestly, I can't really answer that question because I feel like that's kind of like, that's a strange question to kind of, I don't think that I would want to switch with anybody. I think I want to appreciate people's viewpoints. Is that fair?
But you wouldn't want, I mean, I guess the reason I brought up the question is because I guess I've thought about it too. You know, I grew up a lot around a lot of different races, and you hear from them about how they get treated or how things are different in their life, but you can't really feel that. You can hear about it, but you can't experience it. So the reason I came up with that question is because to me, I think I mean I would want to, you know, be in somebody else's culture or race for 30 days just to be able to actually feel how people treat me based on how I do things or how I live or my skin color, or just to see, to actually feel it inside from their view, because I can hear about it all day and they can tell me about it all day, but it just, you can't actually experience unless you're living that way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I just thought that I'd like to throw that question out there and see how somebody would answer.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting question. I guess I'm not really sure. I guess with, if you're looking at it from the viewpoint of trying to understand how they feel, and you like, what would I guess we would have to go maybe like the Mexican culture, because it's such a hot topic in our country. So if I had to answer that,
Okay.
then I don't know.
Well, I appreciate you answering it. I mean, you didn't have to.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, it's a tricky one because it's like hard to say like swapping with somebody, because we all are on our own journey and our path, and we all have our, like, as a woman, I get treated differently as you as a man. You know, like we all have our different things of how we
And
get.
see, and that's the same thing, as I could use that question as well in another interview. What if I asked a male fighter, what if you had to be, you know, a female for 30 days or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's the same thing. Your life is going to be completely different.
Yeah, and I honestly, if we could change the question, because I would like to be a male boxer for 30 days, because I feel like there's zero respect as a female boxer. Nobody believes I'm a boxer, first of all. You know, they're like, no, you're a soccer mom type of thing. And the first question that, especially when I was younger, not so much now, but when I was younger, it'd be like, oh, let me see you throw a punch. And, you know, I asked my male friends at the gym, like, did anybody ever ask you to let me see your stance or let me see how you throw a punch when you tell them you're a boxer? And guess what the answer is? Absolutely not, because they believe that they're a boxer.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I've been in the gym. I've trained female boxers before too. So
Yeah.
I see the attitude difference in the gym.
Yeah.
All right. Question 14. That's kind of funny coming off of what you just said. What is a pet peeve that you have?
Well, yeah, we'll stick on that one. Yeah, I think it's just almost like the nobody believing what you do, or then taking it seriously. You know, especially talking 20 something years ago when I got into this, you know, I've had people ask me, "Oh, boxing, do you do that in the mud?" I've had people to
Oh,
ask me, uh-huh.
they thought you were a mud wrestler.
I'm not making this up. I've had people ask me if it's, oh, like Tybo, you know, like the Billy Blanks thing. Like they just, you know, matter of fact, when I just broke my nose, which was a few weeks ago, and I went to the hospital, the guy taking the intake paperwork said, oh, so you were doing like some type of like something at your gym, something like, and I'm like, no, like I was just in a fight. And he's like, okay, what gym were you at? And we're like, no, it was like an event, like it was a show, like a professional boxing show. Like, so even now people don't get it.
Oh, geez. All right, question 15. If you got pulled over for speeding, what kind of lie would you make up to try to get out of a ticket?
I know I don't lie. I would just be honest to where I was going or what I was doing. Because believe it or not, honesty is the best policy. And a lot of times police officers will just be like, you know, I know my mom got pulled over once and she's like, I'm sorry, I really have to go to the bathroom. And the guy chuckled that she was telling, telling the truth and let her go. So honesty is the best policy.
Okay. Question 16. Who's your favorite comedian?
Oh gosh, I've been listening to what's his name? Matt Rife. Is that his name? Yeah,
Yes.
I'm on him right now. He's really funny.
I'm a
He's
huge fan.
Yeah.
I watch him on TikTok all the time, his clips. I
Yeah.
actually wanted to get a ticket to see him live here where I live, and the tickets sold out so fast that they had to book a second show.
Wow.
And I still didn't get one. So,
Wow. Yeah, he's funny.
all right, question 17. If you could only eat all your meals for 30 days from one fast food restaurant, which one would you choose?
Now you're asking me really hard questions because I'm vegan and gluten free, so I can't eat at a lot of fast food
Well,
restaurants.
and that's why I'm asking the question, because I know a lot of boxers don't eat it at fast food restaurants very often unless they're not training at the time or not in camp.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Chipotle is considered fast food, but
that works.
then it's Chipotle all the way.
Okay. Yeah, you can get in there and get out of there pretty quick.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I like it. They have rice, beans, and they have tofu. So it works for me.
Okay. All right. Question 18. Why do you box?
Why do I box? Because I love it. Well, actually, I should say it's a love-hate. I think every boxer you talk to, it's like there's so many things you love about it, but it is hard. It's really hard to do. But I think that's part of the reason why I love it is that, if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? That's a quote I always say at my gym when people are like, I'm like, but did you die? We're working through it. And I think that's part of the reason why I love it so much is that you always are pushing yourself to the next level.
Okay. Question 19. Are you artistic in any way with your hands besides boxing, as far as like building things, painting, drawing, photography, mechanics, any type of thing like that?
I'm very, very creative, but I'm not an artist. Does that make sense? So I could do things and pull things off, but I can't draw a portrait or anything like that. But I am super creative. Yes.
Okay. All right. Question 20, your last question. How do you inspire other people?
I think I inspire other people by, leading by example. I practice what I preach, and I'm going out there and doing stuff. I mean, I'm 46 years old, and I made a comeback to a combat sport after 17 years of not fighting. I think that alone is inspirational because, especially to women, is that a lot of women put their lives on hold, right, for their kids and to raise a family. And then their kids get older and they're sitting there going, well, now what? What, who am I? And I feel like going through this divorce and this part of my life, I really went back to who I am, and I'm living my truth and what I want to be. So, and I think that's inspiring. Well, I know it's inspiring to a lot of people because I get messages all the time from people about this topic. So I would say that's it.
Nice. Well, listen, I appreciate you taking time to come on and being and having fun with the random 20 questions. Hopefully they weren't too bad.
It wasn't too bad. I mean, a couple ones you had me, really thinking, but I think I made it through.
And if there's any sponsors or anybody you want to give a shout out to or anything you want to say to your fans or the people at the gym, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, of course, my Southpaw family, I can't say enough gratitude towards all of my members and people that support me there. I love them. Shout out to St. Michael's Boxing Club is where I trained for my professional career with Michael Englert. Our team there is awesome. Viking Fight Promotions, BioSteel sponsored me on my last fight. HKB Plastic Surgery is also a big sponsor of mine. So, and Denner's Chiropractic Sports Performance Center, they also are a sponsor of mine too. So, all of those people, much love and gratitude to everybody. Oh,
Anything?
and my family. Hold on, John. I can't forget my family because they'll be like, all that, and you didn't say anything about us. You know, I have my mother, my sisters, my kids, and everybody really is super supportive of me.
All right. You want to tell the fans anything?
Nope. Just, you know, look out for my next fight. All the support that, you could give me, I will take. And let's go get this career wrapped up soon. I'm gonna work my hardest to get things done this year and go from there. Yeah.
All right. Hold on. And the truth has spoken.